When a god of love wages war, a powerful message from Spurgeon. I understand what you might be thinking. How could a loving God be a master of war? What kind of deity would permit conflict, sorrow, this endless battle between good and evil? But what if I told you that each is precisely because of his love that he is in the war? Yes, because if the Lord is not in the battle, then he all completely lost. Have you ever been in a war that no one else could see? Have you ever felt like you were fighting with all your might but had no idea what you were fighting against? A nameless anguish, a burden no one understands, a despair you can't even explain to yourself? I know this war. If we lived it, people would look at me in the pulpit, see an eloquent preacher, a man who drew vast crowds, and they'd think, he is strong, he is unshakable. But they had no idea that often, after a sermon, I would lock myself in a room and weep, not from physical exhaustion, but from an invisible pressure, a silent oppression, a battle fought deep within my soul. There were days when I felt as though darkness was stalking me, as if voices were trying to silence the message even before each was proclaimed. There were days when every step toward the pulpit was like crossing a minefield of doubts, insecurities, and spiritual attacks. Each was in those moments that I understood what Paul meant when he wrote, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world." Yes, there is a war happening, each can be seen with the eyes. Have you ever woken up on a seemingly ordinary day with your heart completely crushed by a sadness that has no cause? Have you ever felt an absurd anxiety moments before making an important decision, as if something were pulling you back? How many times have you tried to change your life, start fresh, do what is right, and suddenly everything falls apart for no apparent reason? It is not just you. Most people think they are fighting against a lack of money, a difficult boss, or a struggling marriage. But these are the only visible fronts. The true battlefield lies in the mind, the soul, in the spirit. I saw it happen so many times. A man would come to church, listen to the gospel with tears in his eyes, and promise to change. The next week, he did disappear. It was not the weakness. It was war, spiritual warfare. And spiritual warfare is won with spiritual weapons. On that night I mentioned, when I felt too weak to preach, I went up anyway, with a heavy heart, without enthusiasm, like someone being dragged along. As I spoke, everything inside me screamed that I was failing, but I continued. At the end of this service, a young man approached me, with his eyes in trembling hands.